Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jazz, and in this video I'll be showing you how to make two different keychains. This is a very beginner friendly sewing tutorial, and by the end of this video you will have two different keychains that looks like this. But before we get started, I'm going to show you the measurements of the fabric that you need to cut out, and it's super simple. So let's get right into that. Now, to make things easier for yourself, and if you plan on making more keychains, you should make a pattern. I got this specific paper from Home Depot. It is the painter's paper, and you get so much, and it's only like $11. I'll make sure to link that below in case you want to use that. But to start off, we're gonna make our scrunchie keychain. For the scrunchie keychain, it'll be 2.75 by 20. And after you cut it out, it should look something like this. I will be using cheetah print for the scrunchie keychain because I think it's just so cute. Along with the scrunchie keychain, you will need a 1-inch elastic, and you'll need 9 inches of that. So 9 inches of 1-inch elastic. And for the keychain, that's literally all you'll need for the scrunchie keychain. Super simple. I told you it'll be easy. For our regular keychain, you will need 4 by 12 of fabric. And if you wish to use batting, which I highly recommend because it'll make it look more professional, you will need 2 by 10 batting. And it should look something like this. But let's go ahead and get started on our scrunchie keychain. I also forgot to mention that you will need the hardware for the end of the keychain, which you can get from Amazon, and I'll also link that below. But let's get started for real this time. To start us off with your scrunchie keychain fabric, you're going to take the pretty side to pretty side and fold it together like this and align the sides. To keep everything in place, you can take some clips, which you can also find on Amazon. And you want to go along the sides to just hold it in place. So I'm going to go ahead and clip all the way down just so I can have my fabric be held in place. Alright, we've clipped all the way down. Remember, pretty side to pretty side, so you shouldn't be seeing the print if the back of your fabric doesn't have print. Pretty side to pretty side, clip all the way down, and let's start sewing. Now that we're at our sewing machine, we are going to sew a 1/4 inch seam allowance, and we're going to sew just a straight line all the way down. Alright, you did a great job sewing your fabric together. Now we need to take a clothespin and we're going to turn it inside out so we can see that pretty side. Now, you can also use like a tube to flip it inside out. Obviously, I'm going to use a clothespin. This might get a little tricky, but I promise you, you will figure it out. So what we're going to do, we're going to take our clothespin, push it through, close it up, and we're just gonna take it and turn it inside and push it a little bit. Now, what I learned, you also need to push this side in as well to make it easier on yourself. And as you go, your clothespin is inside and you're just gonna push it through like this. And as you push it through, you're gonna pull that fabric down a little bit. So keep pushing it and pull that fabric. You have to play around with it just a little bit. But you see, we're pulling the fabric, pushing it through. Pull that fabric and push it through all the way until you get to the other end. Okay, we're at the other end now, and you'll see our clothespin. You'll see our clothespin at the end. And now the fun part, pull that pretty side through. See, it's kind of like a magic trick. Take our clothespin out. We don't need that for right now. And it should look something like this. Now what I like to do is iron it down so that it can be easier to put the elastic in. So that's what I'm going to do right quick. And when you iron down, you want to iron down on the seam so that it can be flat. So that's what I'm going to go do right now. We're going to go and iron our seams just like this to make those seams flat. See how flat and crisp that looks now? Now that we ironed our fabric, we're going to take our elastic and put a clothespin on one end and then clips on the other end, and it should look like this. And what we're going to do, we're going to make sure we go in on through where the seam is. Take our clothespin and we're going to push it through like this. I'm going to start on the other end. We're going to take our clothespin and push it through like this. You're going to have to work a little bit for it, but promise it'll be all right. Push our clothespin all the way through our fabric and just pull on our fabric as we go through the elastic. So keep pushing that clothespin and then pull the fabric down like this. And you're just going to do it for the whole thing. Remember, it's going to be a scrunchie, so you're going to have to just scrunch literally the fabric once you get down. Keep pushing and pulling. Push, pull, push, pull. Now that we're getting towards the bottom, you see we have it all scrunched up right here. Obviously that is okay because this is going to be a scrunchy keychain. And now what we're going to do, we're going to take off both sides. Take off your clothespin. Make sure your elastic doesn't fall in. And then we're going to put the two sides together. It should look like this. Put the two sides together, and then we're going to head to the sewing machine, and we're just going to sew these together so that it can stay. Also want to mention, because I've made this mistake before, make sure the seams are facing each other. You don't want to have the seams on the outside because then you'll be able to see. You want that clean look as you see right here. So make sure the seams are facing the seams. And like I said before, we're just gonna make a straight stitch all the way across. Now don't forget to cut the loose thread that you see right here. And you can just get a small pair of scissors like this. Well, mine, as you can see, are broken, but they still work. Okay, now for the fun part. We are almost done, and you almost have your first scrunchy keychain. So we're gonna take our hardware and our clamp, and we're just gonna put this on the end like this. Then we're gonna take our clamp and just push it down like this. Push it really hard so that it stays. Now you want to make sure it's in the right place, because once you clamp this down, it's impossible to get off. So make sure you like how it's aligned. All right, now we have our first scrunchy keychain, and you can just pull it out to however you like it. But good job, y'all. Now you have your first scrunchy keychain. Now that you completed your first keychain, let's go ahead and get started on the next one. For this, in the beginning, we're going to start off with the iron, and we're going to place our batting in the middle of our fabric, and it should look something like this. And what we're going to do, we're going to take the iron and literally just iron up and down like this. I'm going to iron straight across like this. And then what we're going to do is fold these sides like this and iron that down as well. Now that you have the sides ironed down, it should look something like this. And then what we're going to do, we're just going to take that and fold it in half like this. And like the other keychain, we're going to go on the sides and clip it down. We're going to sew a straight line on this side and then on this side. So I'm going to clip it down, and then we're going to head to the sewing machine. And just like the other keychain, we're going to sew on a 1/4 inch seam allowance. So we're going to sew one long line on this side, and then we're going to flip it to the other side and sew another line straight down. As you can see, we have one side sewed down, and now we're just going to do the same thing to this side all the way down. If your lines aren't perfect, it's okay. It's your first time. You will have a great keychain. Just keep going. We're almost done. Okay, we are almost done. You guys are doing so great. So to finish us off, all we're gonna do is fold down the ends just a tad. And when you fold down, you're gonna piece them together like this. Make sure it's even. And then we're gonna take our hardware, place it on just like we did for the scrunchie keychain, and then take your clamp and press it down. And just like that, you are done with your second keychain. And now you have 2 keychains to either gift to somebody or to use for yourself. You guys did so amazing, and I'm so glad that you watched this beginner-friendly keychain video. Make sure to comment any questions that you have. I'll be sure to answer, and let me know what else you would like to see. All right, I'll see y'all next time. Peace.